Hey y'all, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, the special education boss. If you've ever felt confused, overwhelmed, or just plain frustrated at the 504 IEP table, you are in the right place. Every week, I'm breaking down the rules, the rights, and the realities of special education so you can walk into meetings informed, empowered, and ready to make real change. And whether you're a parent, a teacher, an advocate, a school-based member, or somebody who's just trying to do right by a student, this podcast gives you straight talk, real answers, and tools that you can use immediately. I'm not here to play politics. I'm not here to play sides. I'm here to train people who sit at the table and teach you how to follow the law, ask the right questions, and protect the rights of students. So go ahead and hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change. We're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. Welcome back, you guys. If we haven't met, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, special education boss, training everyone that sits at the 504 IEP table to navigate and negotiate successful student outcomes. It's good to see you guys today, to hear you and answer your questions. And if you haven't already gotten it, you definitely want to go get our new book, The Epic IEP. It is out everywhere, or you can find it at theepiciep.com. We're excited about this powerful playbook for educators, parents, and advocates navigating the special education process. So let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is so important. I call it the TPP, and this causes the areas of concern for parents sometimes and confusion between obligation and rights and procedural safeguards. So let's talk about them. So we're going to talk about time, prep, and participation. So the time, when do we schedule the IEP? Often parents will get a notice or an email or a phone call. Hey, we've scheduled your IEP meeting for March 3rd. At 10:47 a.m. And parents often think that that is the only time that they can meet. They're often told by school districts, we have to meet at this time. And certainly if you can meet at that time, certainly do that. But the law says that we meet at a mutually agreed upon time, that both parties meet at a mutually agreed upon time. And so the district has an obligation to work with the parent, and the parent has an obligation to work with the district to find a mutually agreed upon time. And so we can do that. We obviously have the IEP meeting during the instructional day. We certainly don't say, could we meet at 7:00 at night? But during the instructional day, we have to make a time available so that parents can meet and participate in the IEP meeting. Well, what if they email back and say that's the only time? Then I would email them back and say, thank you for that offer. As I previously indicated, I am not available at that time, but we look forward to finding a mutually agreed upon time. Please provide us 3 dates and times to choose from. We look forward to working together. So never in 29 years have I ever had a meeting that we couldn't figure out a mutually agreed upon time for the parent and the school district to hold the IEP meeting. Next, prep. How do I prep for the IEP meeting? We prep for the IEP meeting by providing all stakeholders any information ahead of time. And who are the stakeholders? Number 1, parent. Number 2, the LEA representative. Number 3, a general education teacher. Number 4, a special educator. Number 5, assessment personnel that can interpret and answer questions about assessments and what they mean. So often when we're in an IEP meeting, we'll ask for a draft ahead of time. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes school districts will tell us that we are not going to give you a draft. So that would be problematic because the school has the obligation to allow parents equal participation. So parents are equal stakeholders to the school district, understanding that the school district certainly populates the paperwork, and then also understanding that the draft paperwork is just that. That's not predetermination, providing somebody a draft. It's collaboration. It's actually working with the other party. And so when I reach out to the school district, this is the email that I would send. Dear school district, we look forward to coming into the IEP meeting for Billy next Thursday. Please provide us a full draft copy of the IEP document, comma, knowing that it's just a draft and all decisions are made in the meeting. Without that draft ahead of time, it's unlikely the parents are going to be able to make an informed decision and may have to reschedule. So this is not about gotcha. This is about so we can all prepare. An IEP meeting is a business meeting. When I go into a business meeting, I am prepared. Parents want to be prepared. And we have much better conversations and much more collaboration when we can identify any known areas of need ahead of the meeting instead of just starting the meeting and just reading off a sheet of paper to parents. So parents have that right to prepare just like school districts do. I was told recently that we do not provide a draft to the parents in this state. It's the whole state, right? I said, so you're going to be typing on a blank document? She said, yes, we are. I said, I find that hard to believe that the document is going to be blank if you're all looking at your screens talking about OT, speech, physical therapy, autism, academic needs. And she said, we can get you a draft. And so often schools have had misinformation for their training on providing a draft to parents, but we certainly want a draft so we can prepare ahead of time. And we want the full draft. We don't want just a few pages of goals and a couple paragraphs of the PLAF. We need the entire IEP document draft because it needs to be consistently the same throughout the document, and it builds on itself. And so providing the parent of the draft is it's best practice, it's good faith, and it's complete collaboration with the entire team. And then number 3, participation. Parents have a right to participate, to fully participate. There are 2 federal procedural safeguards that parents are due. Number 1 is IEP team membership, and the other one is meaningful participation in the IEP process. And those are 2 different things. And so we have to remember that parents are team members. It is not the school letting the parents know what you're going to do, that you are equal team members. And so make sure that we have provided opportunity for the parent to fully participate. One of the components that must sit inside of the IEP, not the deliberations, but must sit inside of the IEP is 300.324, which talks about the developing, reviewing, and revising of an IEP. And the second component in those 4 components is parent concerns for enhancing the education of their child. Parent concerns for enhancing the education of their child. So when you ask the parents if they have any concerns, that goes into the present levels. Why would it go in the present levels? Because that's how we build the student's IEP. So often we're told, well, we'll put that in the deliberations, which is offensive because we know the deliberations are not a required part of an IEP. It's not even a requirement that we take deliberations, and many states don't. Or the other dismissive thing, we will note your concerns. So let's make sure that we're not doing that in IEP meetings, and we get parent concerns for enhancing the education of their child under the 34 CFR federal code inside of those present levels. So time, we're going to meet at a mutually agreed upon time. We're going to get all parties a draft as quickly as we can so we can all prepare for the meeting. And then number 3, we're going to have full participation by all stakeholders, including the parent, so that we can craft an IEP as obligated under Andrew F., which says that we have an obligation to write an IEP, to craft, to build an IEP, to enable the student to make progress appropriate in light of their circumstances. And so when we do these 3 things, it's just many more steps to a successful student outcome. So thank you for being here. Remember, we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. If you need anything from us, just reach out to us at advocate@specialeducationacademy.com, and we'll see you in the next training. Hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change, we're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody.